Hey there, folks. I don't even know what to say about today, but it's been a day. Let's get to it. Ooh. Ooh. That's a fun one. Okay. What are the shapes? What are our options? I find myself of several minds about this. Let's try nested template with a conic gradient and then some shadows. Let's try that first. In terms of calling my shots, I'm going to set the I guess it's the deep blue, and what I want to make is just the internal part first. 3, 4. Oh, not working. Oh, because I have a dash. I fat fingered and got a little bit of a dash there in front of the code. Make it 50, 51, 52. And that's the top margin that I want that. 100, 102. Okay, so that's what I made. So we're going to do a conic gradient. And I think we determined that the repeating conic gradient is longer. I can't remember now. Let's do repeating. We'll do it for fun. Repeating conic gradient from, actually, it's going to be this color. 25%. Oh, and we need 2 color stops to make it repeating. Transparent. 0, 50%. Okay, that's what gets you that square. We put it in the top corner with a background position of 0, 0. We give it a width of, let's say 80 pixels, 80 pixels. Oh, too small. Okay, so I'm going to add a no repeat just so I really can see what I'm doing. Okay, now we make it wider. 100, 110, 115, and then probably that's 115 again. And then we need an at, a center at 40 pixels, 40 pixels. I know that number's right. I'm wrong. 40, 50, 60, 70, 65. And is this also 65? Yes, it is. And then we let it repeat. And there it is. And then what we want is, well, it's actually quite a few box shadows. And maybe this is not a great way to do it. Box shadow. And we're going to, so I'm going to set green as the default color. And we're going to say 10 pixels, 0. That's how we get a box shadow. So let's figure out what that number is. 2, 3, 4. So 40. So it's going to be every iteration of 40. 40, 0, minus 40, 0, 0, 40 pixels, and then 0, minus 40 pixels. And that's how we get that. Oh, and interestingly, I think we've got a little asymmetry going. Ooh, that's fun. I think that's a sneaky asymmetry. Oh, I love it when they do that. All right, so I think that means that this last one is going to be like 5 pixels over. Is that right? No. 10 pixels over. 5. How about minus 5? Oh, I don't know what I've got going on here. All right, so which is which? Sorting out the box shadows. Okay, so which is which? And actually, let's go ahead and do the second part of each one of these. So we want probably 20 pixels, 0, red, comma. So that's that one. And we don't want red, we want this blue color. Okay, good on the right. Next. So this will be like minus 20 pixels, 0, and then that number. And we're good on the left. Or did I say right? Left? We're good on the sides. I don't know my left from my right. That's all right. All right. And then the next one is going to be, I think we want the negative one. We'll do the negative one next because it's going to be a little easier. 0, minus 20 pixels, and then that color. Boom. And then the bottom one is our problem child. Okay. So we've got this problem. So let's do 0, minus 20 pixels, and then that color. Nope, we need the color again. And we need a comma. Oh, and we need it to be minus 20, 0. All right, let's really make sure that we're doing what we think we're doing. Yeah, we're not doing what we think we're doing. We want 20, don't we? Oh, what have I got going on? No, it's the sides are fine. I am confused myself. So there's your, hey, do you know which things you're dealing with? Good. Good. Top is good. And we don't see anything there. Okay. Oh, I'm just confused. Very confused. All right. No, nothing for it but to start over. Because clearly, so we got the right side, and let's go in order. And let's do the hard part next. So we want to go 0, 20 pixels, and then this blue color, I think. And then 0, 40 pixels down, red. So that's what I'm trying to do. And I think we want to go over a little bit. Minus 5 pixels. And of course that gives us this problem, right? This is probably why I had the trouble. Oh, and because the order matters. So now we've got what we want there. But we need to do, in front of that, we need to do a minus 20 pixels, 0 of the blue, and minus 40 pixels, 0 of the green. And now we just have that one little divot. All right, so super cute. I think that makes this box shadow really kind of a crappy way to do it. I'm gonna follow it through, but I have a better way to do this now. Now that we've got this, now that we're doing it this crazy way, we'll do minus. So we'll do 0, minus 20 pixels, and we want the blue, and then 0, minus 40 pixels. And we're missing a comma, so we don't see anything. Fix the commas. And I think what we want is what? A minus 5 pixels, 10 pixels. And then that blue color. And I think we've got it now. But as you can see, this is not a good way to do this. not at all a good way to do this. All right. So yeah, but we learned this valuable thing about this background, which is pretty awesome, right? So what is the way we want to do this? I'm going to steal, what am I going to steal? I'm going to steal just this repeating conic gradient. Is that what I want to steal? I think what I want to do is the blank template. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this background on what is currently the pink. Great. And I'm going to set is blue. Put the margins here. I need width 0, 0, 0, and then 100%, or no, of course I didn't commit to memory what the size is. So that's no, oh, it's 115. 115, is that what it was? Yeah, 115 and 115. All right, now with margins, we're gonna push this down 3, 4, 5, 6, 60, 100 on the sides, 102, and then a height of 200, or 180, 180, 170, 180, 180 is correct. All right, and then for this, what I actually want to do is do that background using, what, 2 conic gradients? Well, what are my choices? What do we got? Well, actually, now that we've got that, what if we just do a border, huh? Border, 20 pixels solid, this blue, which ruins our dimensions and ruins our margins, but we subtract 20 and we get 40, and that's great. And then we subtract 20 here and we get 82, and then it's lined up correctly. And now that we've made that wider, that box shadow won't work for us at all. And that kind of is, you know, that's a sort of a tricky thing. So what are our choices for the background? So we haven't put anything on the body. There's nothing on the body right now. How about what are our choices? Well, I kind of want to put it in a variable. So G for gradient, conic gradient, which is going to be like at 115, what is it, 115, no, it's going to be, what, 200? I'm overthinking. 100 pixels, 20 pixels, and then transparent, 75%, and then the green. Working in a variable here, I don't have any feedback. Is this working? And that's not a good place to be. So let's immediately put this on the back. There it is. So that's what I want. And then if I move that over, 100 pixels, great. I can put it over 110, and then I can make it wider, 180, great, and then move it down using background position 20 pixels, perfect. And then I have another one that I want, and that one is lower to, no, it's this, and I think we know it's over 100 and 100, and then it's cutely 3, 2, 5, 6, and 105. There it is. So then we've got that in place now. And then the last thing, I think we do well, why not another linear gradient or another conic gradient? Conic, which is going to be highly similar. And I'm not going to bother with that. We do those color stops. This at, instead of that 180 at 180 20, it's going to be at 20 pixels 180, I think. That creates that. And then we push it over using background position 3, 4, 6, 7, 70, and then we push it down 30 pixels, 40, 50, 60, and then we need to give it a width 200, 220, 30, 40, and that lines up perfectly. And so for this one we don't need this to be transparent. We need the blue, not the green. And then we got it. Completely other way to do that. I don't know if that's worse. It might be worse. I don't care. It's great. It's fun code. Minify, unit replace, and submit. I appreciate that. I appreciate that way to do that. What are our other choices? Are there other choices? That is a better score. What if we viewed the whole thing as well, let's do a blank template and created the first green element. So we're going to set the color on the body. And when I say color, I mean the default text color. It's going to be the green. And I'm going to set this as blue. And I'm going to say this as box shadow of inset 1 inch 1 inch. There it is. Great. We're going to make it, put the margins on the element, plunk. And we want those margins to be more. Probably I could have saved 200, 102. That height is 20. The next box shadow is -5 pixels, 200 pixels or something. 220, 30, 40. Great. Let's make the next one. The second one I haven't forgotten about the middle part, by the way. The second one has different margins, and we'll give it a height of, I didn't even say we set a width, but we give it a different height, and then a margin of 10, 20, 200, 100, no, 0, 100. Okay, so let's push this into place. So we need less margin here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 62. More margin here. 3, 4, 9, 300, 302. Height is 180. I keep forgetting the numbers. And then this box shadow is 200 pixels 0. Oh, and we still need the inset, don't we? 220, 230, 40, 240. Okay, so that's that part. And then, I didn't really forget. Well, I kind of did. Let's see. So, in terms of efficient ways to do this, since we set our color, we need 2 more elements, don't we? We kind of do. P plus P plus P, just to be completely inefficient. The margins. So, and then we're going to do a box shadow inset 1 inch, 1 inch red, just because we want to be able to see what the heck we're doing. So these margins are going to be different. Margin. I'm going to set 4 values, and then the top one we need to go upwards, minus 200. Too far up. Minus 180. And we're using the margins. Wherever these paragraph elements fall. We could do something like a display grid and force them into a particular spot and then do transforms on them or stuff like that, but we're not doing that. Height is whatever that value was. What is it, 80? No, 70. No, 65. I remember the numbers. There it is. And that box shadow is inset 1 inch 1 inch, comma probably 0, 50 pixels. No, 100, 110, 115. There it is. And then the last one, I know this is very silly. I don't care. This would be 4 P's. I'm gonna do that same trick of box shadow, inset, 1 inch, 1 inch red, so I can see it. Well, I really can't see it, can I? Oh, because it's so. So there's a syntax error. I have a syntax error here, but it's very hard to see. Inset 1 in red, and I need the value. There it is. Now I need margins here. I set those. That almost works. If I set that margin 0, 0. I probably can't get away with, because of the way margins work or the way box shadows work, I probably can't put that dead center. I need to use 4 values here. So 102, and then 230, 220, 222, no, 215, probably 217, huh? 217, there it is. And then the height is going to be a different value. 40. No, it's 50. Of course it's 50. And then that inset, so we want what? Inset 1 inch, 1 inch, comma, 40 pixels, 0, no, 100, 110, 20. No, 115. There it is. So that's with lots and lots of box shadows, no extra attributes, no at present CSS variables, and that's all matching. Not really much to be done about the margins. Let's variabilize some of this stuff. We'll do that. We'll go var h, and those of you who have been following me for a while, I often will use a CSS variable that maybe is a little less efficient, right? Like there's not that much of a win there. Depends on how many times you use them. I think in this case it's a win, but I don't really. I'm not bothered. Margin, do the same thing. Var m, comma, or a default, and so we'll do dash dash m for margin. And box shadow is kind of great because I can set a variable, and we'll call that S. Yeah, S. And then replace all of that with dash dash S. Boom. Don't need any of that. Boom. And that is working. And then none of that, and boom. And then submit that. Let's make sure that we're still at 100% match. That way we only do the inset 1 inch, 1 inch, one time. Let's minify, unit replace, and submit. And we're all done there. I like this solution. It is, and it's a better score. So 4 elements, again, super goofy. So if you see, if I do a color red, oh, and each one builds on the prior, right? Because of the way I'm doing it. So if I put, so right now I'm using the adjacency selector. So P is the first P. P plus P applies to this one and this one and this one. if I do the attributes, is that more efficient? I don't know. Let's find out. Turn that into dash B. That turns this one into C, or not dash, so it's brackets. And then this one is that. So, yeah, and then, so that's with the attributes. I think it's shorter. It's not shorter. Or it's not a better score, I should say, because we added characters anyway to create the attributes. So, okay, so top solution is what? It's 631.4, 631.4. Oh, it's equivalent in that case. So it doesn't matter. So this is just as good as that in this particular instance. There might be conditions where it would be more efficient. All right, I spent way too long on this one. Appreciate you sticking with me. I really am charmed by the asymmetry of this. Like, that really makes it tricky. So if you look at it and think, oh, this is really exciting, I'm sorry for spoiling these. If you consider these spoiling, right? You have signed up to watch a video of a person doing this puzzle, and so that is a spoiler. Maybe I need to say that. No, not really. Like, I say up front what I'm going to do, and you can just stop the video if you're not interested in that or don't want to be spoiled. And presumably you're coming because you've already done it yourself, and you've probably thought of a different way to do it, which I always enjoy hearing about. All right, thanks. Have a great day. For those in the United States and who are watching this on the day, you might be watching this on Thanksgiving, which is a big holiday here in the United States with a long and complicated history, but it is when families often get together, and that's always to the good, pretty much. So take care of yourself, be good to yourself, be good to others, and go make a webpage. Bye.